Hello everybody, welcome back to Piano Practice Partner. Thank you for joining me. Last week in our lesson, we were learning the F major scale, which looked and sounded like this. Whoa. So now, in our arsenal, we have this C major scale, which we learned right at the very beginning of our lessons together. No sharps, no flats in the C major scale. And now one sharp in this F major scale, this A sharp. And I've written it down here. F, G, A sharp, C, D, E, F, for clarity's sake. But in the last lesson together, we figured out a handy way of learning any major scale by understanding the whole notes and the half notes. And it went whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So the distance between two notes, if it's immediately next door, it's a half note. And if it's a note separating them, it's a whole note. So a half note, they're immediate next door neighbours. A whole note, there's a little friend between. So you can see there's an E separating this D sharp and F. So by knowing whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, we can figure out any major scale, no matter what note we start on. So if we chose E here, we'd go whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. There we go. Just by proving it, I've never played that scale before in my life, but just by knowing whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, you can figure out any major scale. Really, really handy. So today is a practice along session. If you're new to the channel, we have two different sections to our videos. We have the lesson where we learn the theory or the concept or whatever it may be we're looking at that week. And then in the practice along session, we're applying that knowledge in some dedicated practice time. So I'll set up the exercise, I'll set my timer, and when I hit go, I'll mute my piano so that you can't hear me and you're not distracted by my playing. But the idea is that then you would practice along what we've just set up to the timer, and then we'll discuss it, move on to another exercise. So it's keeping us both accountable to this idea of practicing and improving. So to begin with, let's play the F major scale with our right hand. Up and down the scale, one octave. And if you remember, the arrangement of our fingers went 1, 2, 3, 4, crossing the thumb under to the C. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the way up. I'll do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, crossing the thumb under. 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the way down, we go 4, 3, 2, 1, crossing over 4, 3, 2, 1. All together. There we are. So let's spend 4 minutes practicing this F major scale up and down with our right hand. And I'll see you on the other side. Take it as slow as you need to figure out the transition point. Keep nice and loose, nice and relaxed. Try and keep all the notes sounding nice and even. Over halfway there. Keep going. If you're feeling confident, you can up the tempo a little. But if it gets a little bit sloppy, slow it down and aim for consistency. Last 30 seconds. Keep going. There we go. 4 minutes done. How was that? It's nice to drill it and get it under the fingers and feel a bit more fluid. If you're feeling any tension, again, just try and think relaxed, think nice and loose. Don't hammer so much into the keys, but glide over them. Great. So we've done our right hand. Now let's do our left hand. So the arrangement of the fingers for this now goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, crossing over the thumb. 3, 4, 5. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, crossing over. 3, 4, 5. And on the way back down, 5, 4, 3, crossing the thumb under. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. 5, 4, 3, crossing the thumb under. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All together, the sounds and looks like this. So here we go. Same deal. 4 minutes on the clock. Left hand, I'll see you in 4 minutes. Remember, take this nice and slowly. Figure out that transition point. Aim for a nice consistent and even sound between the notes. Halfway there, keep going. Keep nice and loose, nice and relaxed. You can up the tempo if you wish, but remember to slow down when it gets sloppy. Get it nice and even and consistent. Less than 30 seconds left. Keep going. There we go. 4 minutes done. How was that? For most of us, it's probably the non-dominant hand, so maybe it feels a little bit harder. Maybe it's quicker to tire, but it's really worth paying attention to bringing up whichever your non-dominant hand is to speed. Otherwise, your dominant hand's going to run away and leave this one in the dust. So it's good to grow them together. Don't neglect your non-dominant side. We've drawn it with our right hand, we've drawn it with our left hand, so hopefully it's a little bit in our muscle memory now. So it's just figuring out this transition point, which in the video lesson we figured out that we both arrive with our thumbs on the C. So it's a really good way of finding a bit of home in that first transition with our right hand moves, and then our left hand moves immediately afterwards on the way up. So I'll do that one more time slowly. Right hand goes to move here, thumbs land on C, carry on, left hand moves. One more time. Right hand moves, thumbs on C, left hand moves. And on the way back down, left hand crosses, thumbs both arrive on C, right hand crosses. One more time. Left hand crosses underneath, thumbs on C, right hand crosses over. All together, that sounds like this. Thumbs. Thumbs. Maybe it's useful to think of thumbs on the C, maybe it's not. But take your time over that transition point. It's absolutely fine if when you get there, we're just having a little think and then carry on. That pause is absolutely fine, but each time we get a little bit more used to it, see if you can make the gap of thinking a little smaller. So let's set a bit longer on the clock now. Let's set 5 minutes and practice both hands together, the F major scale up and down. Here we go. Take it as slow as you need to and figure out those transition points. Keep nice and relaxed, nice and loose. Aim for a nice consistent and even sound between the two hands. Halfway there, keep going. Remember, slow and steady wins the race. There's no rush. Make sure it's nice and accurate. Final minute remaining. Keep going, everyone. Last 30 seconds. You can do it. There we go. 5 minutes done. Aim for the consistency between the two hands. We don't want one getting stronger and more accomplished than the other. We want to grow them together. So if your right hand is really loud and your left hand's really quiet or lagging behind, try and bring focus to making them a little bit more even and going at the speed of the slowest hand. So if the right hand's, but you're only going with your left hand, bring your right hand down to your left hand's tempo. And then once your left hand gets better and stronger, and you can build in tempo, then start to build up. But But as soon as it gets a little bit too much and you start making mistakes, then just take it down a notch again until you work through that inconsistency and build back up. It's just slowly chipping away. So that's today's practice along session, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. It's really, really beneficial, and I'd encourage you, among doing the fun things like our 2-5-1s that we've been learning, to drill the scales. They feel a bit more dry and a bit more like practice, but it's really, really beneficial to get these ideas and concepts logged within our brains and our fingers, so that when we come on to some more interesting and complex chords and sequences and soloing, we've already done the foundational work of scales so that becomes easier. So whilst going through the other lessons, just occasionally come back to these practice along sessions, or just in your own brain drill, I haven't done a C major scale in a while with both hands, let's try and up that. Same with the F major, same with any other scales that we start doing together. But thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, please consider doing so you don't miss a lesson and a practice along session. Let me know what your wins of the week are, where you're practicing from, and anything you'd like to learn in the future. But until next time, have a great week, and I'll see you soon.